This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 8, and it reads, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence." Verse 9, "The prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, have truly sent him." I'm going to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to Elohim La Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, Hashem Rachavadas. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS. Peace and salutations to the brothers around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to the truth. To you, I say Shalom. It's the brother Yawasop. Pretty much, I came across this article. It says, I was listening to I forget who, but they was going into, I wasn't even aware of this and showing you it must be a media blackout in regards to this, but in the city of Bangladesh, pretty much it's riots going on. Now, from what I hear, they say that pretty much they are not allowing them to go to the banks, and when I read some of the article, you'll see pretty much they had lockdown, and so what's that, second Ezra chapter 15, a man should desire to go into a city and not be able. So it reads, Bangladesh has erupted over jobs reserved for the children of freedom fighters. Here's what you need to know. It says, huge protests across Bangladesh escalated to deadly violence this week, with clashes between students, pro-government supporters, and armed police fueling widespread anger over civil service job quotas opponents say are discriminatory. Dozens of people have reportedly been killed and hundreds injured in the violence, which has seen riot police use tear gas and rubber bullets against protesters and crowds of demonstrators armed with sticks filling the streets and universities and university campuses in the capital, Dhaka, and other cities. State broadcaster Bangladesh TV was off air on Friday after student demonstrators allegedly set fire to its headquarters. According to the local media, and protesters have called for a nationwide shutdown and a major challenge to the government of long-standing Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. A curfew has been imposed, mobile and internet services are cut, schools and universities ordered to close, and security forces deployed to quell the unrest, with human rights groups accusing authorities of using unlawful force against protesters. And this is a prequel to what's going to take place in America, and it's going to be 100 times worse because American citizens are actually armed. What they say is more guns than people in America. So, when the military uses these same tactics, you're gonna have people stand up and fight back. But again, I didn't know it was over. As far as it was over, pretty much people saying that they're hoarding the jobs and giving them to what is that term? Brother Thumbia always used to use. Can't think of it, on the tip of my tongue too. It's lucky I'm tired, but I can't think of it. It's right there too. But pretty much where they reserve things for their family members, their loved ones, Nepotism. A curfew has been called Law Yaba Shimon Shai. A curfew has been imposed. I read that part. On Sunday, Bangladesh's Supreme Court rolled back most of the controversial quotas on government jobs, with officials saying that they hope it will bring normalcy back to the streets. Here's what you need to know. Why are students protesting? Many Bangladesh students are demanding an end to the government's quota system, which reserves more than half of civil service posts for certain groups. Some 30% of those highly sought after jobs are reserved for relatives of veterans who fought in Bangladesh War of Independence from Pakistan in 1971, a seminal moment in the nation's history as it successfully won freedom from a much larger ruler. Many of the country's contemporary political elite are related to that generation, including Prime Minister Hasina, a daughter of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the widely regarded founder of modern Bangladesh, who was assassinated in 1975. The reserve roles are linked to job security and higher pay, and protesters say the quota system is discriminatory and favors supporters of Hasina ruling Awami League Party. They are demanding recruitment based on merit. A government job is a really good opportunity, said Maruf Khan, 29, a Bangladeshi studying in Australia who has joined rallies supporting the protest in Sydney. About 500,000 to 600,000 people are competing for 600 to 700 government jobs, and on top of that, it includes a 56% quota. It's not easy. Driving the anger is higher unemployment levels in the country, especially among young people. Bangladesh has seen strong economic growth under Hasina, but it has slowed in the post-pandemic era and has the World Bank notes and as the World Bank notes in its latest overview, inequality has widened in urban areas. In a nation of 170 million people, more than 30 million are not in work or education. In 2018, the quota system was scrapped following similar protests, but in June, the High Court reinstated it, ruling its removal was unconstitutional. On July 10th, the Supreme Court suspended the quotas for 1 month while it took up the case. Critics and protesters say the quota system creates a two-tier Bangladesh where a politically connected elite benefit by their birth. The freedom fighters have sacrificed a lot for the nation, and for that reason, this quota was a logical thing in the past, says student protester Tamid Hassan. But there have been at least 2 generations after that. Nowadays, the quota has rather become a form of discrimination, which, is funny because, you got a discrimination system here, with all the systems that this devil has in place. From, you know, red lighting to, just as a plethora of things that's set up in this system to benefit, Esau Edom, so-called white man, and the other nations, as opposed to Jake. You know, that's why the urban areas are the most fucked up. You know what I mean? Let's really take the time to think about it. If you know, when you get into the inner cities and how the projects were started pretty much, to contain the crime in that area. But if Jake was to actually live in an area, or because upbringing plays a huge role in how you grow up and where you end up in society. Majority of Jake is impoverished, so that's why Jake does the shit that they do. They was talking about Kamala Harris and pretty much how she was the driving force of sending a lot of Jakes to jail. You know what I mean? Why you got these stupid ass people willing to go vote for her? You know what I mean? The demonstrations became violent on July 15 when members of the Bangladesh Chhatra League, the students' wing of the ruling Awami League Party, reportedly attacked student protesters inside the Dhaka University campus. Since then, clashes between security forces, protesters, and government supporters have escalated, with Bangladesh deploying its paramilitary Rapid Action Battalion, which was sanctioned by the United States in 2021 after widespread allegations of serious human rights abuses. The student protester Hassani told CNN he was wounded at a rally